Let's move on to the next question here from Sumo Slam. Their question is, can I substitute an SRS for reading? Can I substitute reading for an SRS? I don't know the order in English. Has anyone mostly/completely eliminated SRS from the daily routine in the early stages, just by upping their reading immersion? I can see SRS being very helpful for vocab that is very low frequency, but I'm wondering if anyone has had success opting for more reading to avoid the drudgery of an SRS. If so, how do you calibrate your reading time to achieve good vocab retention?
I mean, yes, SRSs. Reading has been around a lot longer than SRSs.
No.
And people used to learn just from reading.
No, Anki was around in like 1412, right?
Yeah. But the idea with reading is that it's a natural SRS. You're going to come across similar words or the same word repeatedly. Especially if you are limiting yourself to a single writer. Writers tend to reuse the same words over and over again. If you've ever read the Harry Potter, you know that she uses like the exact same, 50 exclamation type words, and you just hear them over and over and over again throughout the whole series. So reading becomes a natural SRS, and that's the point of immersion. It is a natural SRS. The external SRS is there to support you if you are not doing enough reading or enough immersion. And it's particularly useful in the early stages when you just need to build a foundation because you don't have enough of a foundation to actually do reading. Mm-hmm. And it is very useful later on when you're trying to fill in all of the little gaps and learn words that aren't as common and may not appear enough for you to learn directly from reading. But the sweet spot in the middle between those 2 points, a lot of people actually drop the SRS during that time. Like myself, I dropped Anki entirely for a year and a half because I was just like, I'm just going to immerse and learn directly from immersion. And it is entirely possible to do that. You do need to up your immersion time. So if you're somebody who's more on like a strict time limit per day, then the SRS can help to cement words that are, or help reinforce words that you're not immersing enough to see often enough. But if you are the kind of person that can spend tons of time reading and you love reading and you're going to do it regardless, then yeah, you don't strictly need the SRS. It is just an optimization. In terms of sort of the specifics about how much time you need to spend, I don't actually have a good answer for this. This is something I've never really thought about the math for it. And it's not something that I can really think of off the cuff. I feel like it would require some research because you'd have to look at, for this band of frequency words. So let's say like between the 2000 and 3000 band, how common are those words? How many times do they appear? Because if the answer is, twice, then that's probably not enough. But if the answer is like 20 times in 100 pages of a book, then you're like, yeah, that's probably enough exposures to it to learn it.
Yeah, it's definitely a fuzzy question. Like you can't really give a perfect answer. Mm-hmm. What I'm doing for Czech and like my grandmaster plan is that for the first I think 500 hours or so, I am using the SRS every single day. I'm sentence mining, I'm finding new words. But then at a certain point, I'm just going to completely stop adding new words and just focus on reading. That's also what I'm going to do a lot more pure listening. Like most of my days, pure listening, 30 minutes of reading, and then whatever extra time just for my reviews, because I'm not going to give up Anki. I'm just going to not add new cards.
Sure.
And that's basically what I did for Spanish as well. I think I only have like 2,000 cards in Spanish from reading, from sentence mining, and then at a certain point, I just was reading. And it never really seems to have a huge effect. There's certain things that definitely I didn't get as quickly or as easily, especially rarer words definitely did not stick around because I just didn't see them more than like once. But I also don't really care about that. I don't need to have a 20,000 word vocabulary to be functionally fluent. And so that's sort of my approach as well, where at a certain point, you're not really learning words that are useful. And so reading will help you just find the words that you're more engaged with since you're reading the books that you're probably enjoying, et cetera, et cetera. So Yeah, you definitely don't need an SRS, and reading is great.
Hey, as you know, there's a lot of language learning advice out there, which can make it kind of overwhelming and difficult to actually get going on your own learning. If you feel like you're struggling to figure out language learning, you're not alone. It's an extremely complicated process with tons of different steps. If you're looking for a step-by-step guide to create the perfect language learning routine for you, then you have to check out our new course. We spent thousands of hours designing a simple and straightforward process that you can use to create your own personalized language routine that actually works. We understand that every learner is different and that you have to roll with the punches and adapt. Every day for 30 days, I walk you through everything you need to know to build an effective learning routine, no matter your circumstances. We give you the advice and resources you need to ensure your success, so you don't have to waste time looking for stuff to do and can focus on learning. And if any questions do come up, don't worry. We are always there to answer any questions and clear up confusion. And it's all backed by our 90-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If, for whatever reason, something's not quite working for you, we insist you get every penny back. It's time for you to stop wishing that you could learn a second language. It's time to become the master of your language learning journey. Check out the link below to get instant access and start your journey today.